guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome once again to another InuYasha vlog. We're still in our hotel under quarantine during this time, but again, we want to give you guys some more entertainment, so we are looking at the next episode in the show, episode 17, Cursed Ink of the Hell Painter. And what a great title for a poorly made episode. Okay, so funny thing about this episode, basically, this is a filler episode, and you know me, I'm not a big fan of filler, and I will say this is one of the weaker episodes of the first season. So, how do we start? And yes, I got my Shishamuru shirt back, which is great for these vlogs. So, basically, we follow our fellowship, Moroku, Moroku, Kagome, Shippo, and InuYasha. They're traveling through the Warring States era looking for more shards of the jewel, and they have come across a few slaughters, because apparently there is no wounds on any of the victims. Well, there kind of is, but InuYasha cannot smell the scent of blood. He can only smell ink instead of blood. So, unfortunately, it leaves him kind of on empty traces of what the hell's going on. Moroku decides to part ways with them because he cannot agree with InuYasha, so they both part ways in that moment. Later on, we come across a weird, short-looking man who I guess was based on Peter Lorre from, the old-school Universal horror movies. As you can see, this is the Hell Painter right here. He's got these big lips and everything. It's like, yes, I'm such a lovely, yes, master, I shall marry a princess. It's really weird. I guess this is just Peter Lorre, essentially, and he is a painter. He uses a certain kind of magic ink, and when he unleashes the scrolls, it brings out demons, which kills people. So, InuYasha and the group find out about this guy, they chase him down, but InuYasha is constantly dunked with ink, which is hilarious, because he can't take the scent of it, and they obviously have to go to Moroku for help, who is also at a castle, who is currently trying to woo another princess, and even to the point where, you know, he's telling the master, it's like, oh, just for safety, the princess should stay here with me, sharing the same room and sharing the same bedding, and you just hear InuYasha go, he's at it again! Classic jokes, like this is another one of the running gags of the show, aside from Sit, which is also in this episode. You also have the Moroku being completely lecherous and very perverted, which is sometimes funny, but, basically, they find out more about the Hell Painter guy. Moroku actually takes Kagome's bike. Again, he knows how to ride a bike even though he's from the feudal era, and he's literally like, Kagome, let me borrow your contraption for a second. It's like, that's hilarious. Like, the dialogue's pretty good in this. There is a Sit joke, too, in this one, by the way. So, they see that they battle the Hell Painter. Moroku uses his wind tunnel on the demons, and InuYasha actually spares the man's life. But unfortunately, the man pretty much goes full emo and cuts himself with a katana, letting the ink and blood drain his life force, and they have gathered a sacred jewel shard and are on their way to the next adventure, which the next arc will be a long one. So, as much as I describe this episode, as much as I, you know, say, oh, the plot's okay, it's easy to follow, it's not my favorite episode. In fact, this is one of my least favorites in the first season, and there's a main reason why, and that's because there's this and one other episode that actually have a huge flaw in the animation. This is what I call an upside-down nose episode. And the reason for it is because somebody in the animation directing department at Sunrise or Toho, or whoever does the animation for the show, had done 2 episodes, this filler episode and a really important episode, and they fucked up the noses for some reason. The noses look really bad in this episode, and it's because apparently they accidentally flipped it upside down. So they all look like they're Barbara Streisand. Looks like they're all played by Barbara Streisand and Adrian Brody. They have these really fucked up noses, and it's just so distracting because we've gone so far in this show with great animation, and just that one fuck-up really distracts you. On top of that, this episode is kind of boring. It's kind of just filler, padding, because you know Moroku's gonna stay with the group. That's the only tension you get. Is he gonna stay? Is he gonna go? But no, he stays. He's gotta stay. He's part of the permanent cast. But it's very much a filler episode. There's not much to discuss. There's not much to bring up, except for the fact that, oh, InuYasha learns about, like, you know, mercy. That's it. That's the lesson of the story. But yeah, it's that, the villain of the day sucks. It's Peter Lorre. It sucks. And it's a bad impression of Peter Lorre. There's this pointless plot with the princess, which goes completely fucking nowhere. There's a scene where Morocco is ambushed by some guards who want his sacred jewel shards, and nothing comes of that, apparently. So I guess humans, again, like Coyote's in the second episode, there are humans who have the ambitions too. So we kind of see that the lord of this castle reminds me a lot of, like, Denethor. But maybe it's because I binged Lord of the Rings a while ago. But yeah, this episode's pretty lame. And it's as lame as watching ink dry. If that makes any sense, pun intended. But anyway, so yeah, not a fan of this one. Although the next arc is actually pretty good, because we get a bunch of reveals, and it spans maybe about 4 or 5 episodes, so we're going to get a big chunk out of the way in the next arc, which I'm not going to spoil, but he kind of maybe comes back. But anyway, so this episode, I'd say the lowest, like about a 2 or a 3 out of 10. This is not a good one. One of the weaker episodes of Season 1, which is saying something. I can't really think if there were any others that I found that were necessarily weak, because we have been pretty tame on filler episodes. Some of the filler episodes have actually been pretty good, like I said. Soul Piper is one of my favorite episodes of the show, and it's fucking brilliant, like, great story, but something like this is padding. It's padding because they need to fill the show out. Remember, this is back, guys, when anime used to be, like, one season would be between 25 to 40 episodes. That was still the norm for animes back in the 90s and 2000s. Nowadays, it's like 10-episode story arc, and that's all you get, which is stupid. If you're gonna make something 10 episodes, you might as well make them an hour each. Give it the HBO treatment. But yeah, so, Cursed Ink of the Hell Painter, not a fan. Not a fan of this episode. It's a definite skip for me. I can pass. But other than that, yeah. Of course, I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Again, these next few episodes, until this pandemic kind of dies down, these are going to be on YouTube, and then once it's over, we're going to go back to Patreon. But if you would like to support us, just $1 or more will get you early access to all of our content, as well as other special features, and your funds will go towards our show, as well as a potential InuYasha fan film. So, until the next video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off, saying, don't send your Sharpies to hell. Because Peter Lorre did. Later.